Good morning, everybody. It is October, what day is today? Today is October 19th. We've had a really good bow season so far. I haven't seen any dogs chasing anything, so that's a plus for me. Overall, it's been a really quiet season so far, which is very interesting, but I think I know why, and I'll talk about that here in a second. So the reason I want to make this short little video, we're heading into open season, and this is this is a storm. And the reason I say this is a storm because there's a lot going on right now, as in the right to retrieve and just the whole dog situation, people using dogs for hunting. Now, let me get this straight. I'm not against dogs. I've never been against dogs. I've used dogs for a lot of my adult life, as in, using for tracking, bird retrieval, and even deer hunting. When I went with a club here in Virginia down in the beach area, years and years ago, we used dogs at the end of the season, but we had thousands and thousands of acres, and the dogs never left that land. Not against dogs, so let's get that straight. I mean, it's just not, that's not the fact with me. I am not against using dogs for hunting. It's a tradition here in Virginia, and I totally get that. I totally respect that. As long as I'm being respected for my property, then there's no problem with me. Now, things got a little escalated last year. I was trying to do exactly what I'm doing right now, and that's document some stuff, and it just kind of got out of hand. So that's that. So that is the storm that's coming up, and the reason it's a storm, and I'll try to make this somewhat quick without being too long-winded. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll try. So the tradition here in Virginia during open season is to run dogs. We get that. All right. Now, in Virginia, just in my area alone, around my little country block, there's 20 plus houses being built right now. That is kind of like the storm. All right. So that is the storm that's getting ready to happen. And it's escalating fast. And the reason I know this is because I've been following some of the groups and just seeing some of the comments and seeing where things are going. It's very interesting, and it's a storm. It's getting ready to happen. So, in a long story short, DWR, the Wildlife Resources group that takes care of all your licenses and all that, went to, I think, the state or UVA, and they did a study on the problems that are happening right now and the things that are escalating. And there's been a lot of lawsuit after lawsuit. And a lot of people are waiting for these lawsuits to finish, and they kind of did. So that's part of it right there, and I'll touch back on that here in a second. So on the dog side, people using hunt dogs, they've had this right for a long time, and dogs are allowed to basically run anywhere they want, and they can be retrieved, in a nutshell. So the landowners coming in, buying property, have no clue, most of them, and some of them do. Some of them moved into this area to buy land to hunt themselves. Some of them moved into this area just because they want a piece of Virginia. And there lies the problem. And I've showed you in some of these other videos that the land's being bought up and it's being used for whatever, right? So the trails and the paths and all this good stuff that people are used to using for hunting are disappearing. There's the problem. So you have the hunting side, and then you have the landowner side. Those two are colliding right now, and the landowner side is growing by leaps and bounds. A couple of the groups that I've seen are in the thousands right now. And then some of them are well organized and some of them are not. So there's a collision. So right now there's a decision at DWR that is, let me get this date straight. I believe it's the 24th. Yep, it is. No, it's October 23rd. And the link will be in the description. You have to register by Tuesday next week if you want to speak. So this is very interesting in itself. So the DWR, the state, however you want to put it, I try to stay out of this stuff as much as possible until I'm drug into it. They did the study. The study came back, and there was a lot of recommendations in there, and I don't think I've seen that study yet. So here recently, some things came to a head. There were some dogs shot because they were running through somebody's property, and they were just fed up, and well, whatever. You know, that I would never shoot a dog myself unless it's attacking a family member or, you know, something on my property, and it would have to be justifiable. Other than that, I own dogs. I would not even come close to that. And if I did have to do that, it would be a really major and bad decision for me. I mean, I would just absolutely hate it to make that decision. And I've actually passed it up a few times, and I've lost some animals out here, and the dog was right there, and I decided not to, and I probably could have. It would have been justifiable. That's a whole nother story. But I just want to make that point because that is what's happening. People are having issues with the dogs running through their property. So they're upset, and when they try to get some help about it, then they realize that, well, it's been in this area for, you know, a long time, and people still do it. That's the powder keg. That is the storm, and it's getting ready to come to a head. And the reason I say that is because this meeting, the 23rd, is they're basically going to make a decision on some of the changes that would have helped a little bit. I don't think it would have changed much, but it would have been a little bit for both sides, and I think it would have helped a little. But I don't think that's going to go through, and that's what's going to happen the 23rd. Yeah, October 23rd. Just needed to make sure that was straight. Yeah, October 23rd, I believe that's a Thursday, and all the details are on that link. So if you want to voice your opinion or you want to be there, definitely click on that link and check it out. So, and that said, that is the storm. My goal at the beginning of all this was not to be against dog hunting or guns or anything like that. I wanted to document it, and I wanted to talk about both sides, you know, the dog side and the homeowner side. And that was my goal, and things just kind of got escalated and turned out the way they did. But it is what it is. You know, we have to fix this problem because the hunters around here, they're losing land to hunt on, and homeowners are moving in left and right. So there's got to be a balance, and I really think that this needs to be fixed before it does escalate and turn into something really ugly. I mean, it's pretty much there right now, and I just think that it needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fair, and some things need to change. You know, just my opinion. But I look at patterns, and some of the patterns I see when it comes to hunting and the way things are done, well, things are changing, and it just has to change to fit what's going on here. You're not going to be able to stop it. People are moving in here left and right. Like I said, just in my area alone, there's 20 plus homes being built today, and it's taking up land. There's land across the street from me. I can already picture that being a subdivision. There's land next to my property. If I had the money, I would buy it, but you know, I'm happy with what I got. You know, so I totally understand both sides. I am not picking on dogs. I'm not picking on landowners. I am a landowner, so I totally understand that side. And I've been part of the other side too, so I totally understand that. I'm a hunter. I'm not an avid hunter. I'm not a trophy hunter. I just like the deer meat. All right, I've been long-winded enough. The link is in the description. If you want to voice your opinion, this is where you need to do it. And because, like I said, this is something that isn't going away. You know, there are. Wow. How can I say this? There are a lot of lawsuits waiting in line for all this. That's just the easiest way to put it, on both sides. So this is going to go to federal court. I can already see it. You know, a lot of people were waiting on this last Supreme Court deal that went through, and it was a mess. I was trying to stay out of it, but I did see a little bit of it, and it's wow. Whenever you go that route, it's hard to. It's really hard because it costs a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, and it just creates more lines and friction. Enough. I've been long-winded enough. The link is in the description. You know, definitely, if you can make it there to voice your opinion, I would. I'm not, because I'll end up saying the wrong things, and I'm not going to do that. But it is a storm. It is a powder keg. Things are getting very heated when it comes to the traditions and rights and landowners' rights. There's a lot going on there. All right, that's it for now, and we will talk to you in the next one.